Obama sat down with David Letterman for an interview that will air later tonight on CBS. Now, it is highly unusual, especially considering the vile comments that the host made about Governor Palin's daughter back in 2009. You may remember this.
One awkward moment, though, during the game. Maybe you heard about it, maybe you saw it on one of the highlight reels. One awkward moment for Sarah Palin at the Yankee game. During the 7th inning, her daughter was knocked up by Alex Rodriguez.
All right, so how can the president justify his wife appearing on such a program when he was the one who lectured us on civility and evoked the names of his daughters during the Sandra Fluck controversy? Remember this.
The reason I called Ms. Fluke is because I thought about Malia and Sasha, and one of the things I want them to do as they get older is to engage in issues they care about, even ones I may not agree with them on. I want them to be able to speak their mind in a civil and thoughtful way. And I don't want them attacked or called horrible names because they're being good citizens.
So he doesn't want his daughters being attacked, but I guess it's okay for the children of prominent Republicans to be the butt of demeaning comments. And by the way, speaking of Ms. Fluck, yesterday the Washington Times affiliated radio program America's Morning News caught up with the former White House communications director, Anita Dunn. And according to various reports, Dunn works at the PR firm that represents the Georgetown law student. Listen to this.
What role did the White House play in having Sandra Fluck appear before Congress?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. You know, I actually am not going to talk to America's Morning News. You can call my office if you'd like to get an interview, okay? That's what I do. But right now I have to go into CNN.
Okay. How offended are you as a woman that Bill Maher referred to Sarah Palin as the C word?
You may call my office to schedule an interview, which is what legitimate news organizations generally do.
I appreciate that.
Okay?
Did you urge the president to call Governor Palin after Bill Maher called her the C word?
You know, you may call my office for an interview.
I appreciate
it. Which is what legitimate news organizations do.
And joining me now with reaction are the Vice President of the Young America's Foundation, Kate Obenshain, Fox News contributor, USA Today columnist Kirsten Powers. Guys, welcome back to the program.
Thank you. Good to be here.
You know, the silence is deafening, Kirsten, and you, to your credit, have been willing to call out Democrats about this. First of all, what's so hard in saying that the president and his PAC should give back the $1 million instead of David Axelrod and Bill Burton contorting themselves with these lame excuses, or Anita Dunn saying, hey, it was wrong what Bill Maher said. The president shouldn't accept $1 million. Is that the right thing to do?
Yeah, it's mind-boggling that you actually can't just say, obviously I don't approve of Bill Maher saying that. That's terrible. We shouldn't talk about women that way. This isn't the first Democratic woman. No, this is not the first Democratic woman who actually has been caught on tape. There's a YouTube of a couple top Democratic congresswomen also refusing to, they're happy to talk about Rush Limbaugh, but they will not talk about Bill Maher. And it's disgusting. I mean, I really don't have any other word for it than to say, like, it's a very simple just to say, of course you can't call somebody the C word.
Right.
It just seems obvious to me.
There are two issues, separate issues then here, Kirsten. One is they won't give back the money, and they're threading the needle, they're parsing the words.
Yeah.
And frankly, David Axelrod is a smart guy. He helped Obama get elected in 2008, and it's almost embarrassing to watch him try and defend the indefensible. So that's one issue. They've now doubled down because they're afraid of Bill Maher and the hard left, it seems to me. Then on the other issue, you know, why do I have a problem with Michelle Obama, especially after the president's lecture, going on David Letterman, considering the comments he made about Governor Palin's daughter, and also about Governor Palin with, quote, the slutty flight attendant look?
Yeah, well, I would say with David Letterman that he did apologize, and he gave a pretty good apology, I would say. And I do think that what you want is you want to raise the issue, you want them to apologize, and you want them not to do it again. And so far, he hasn't done it again. And I think that when that happens, like with Rush Limbaugh, then you move on. And if it happens again, then you address it again. But I don't have a problem with her going on his show.
Kate?
As I recall, when he apologized, Kirsten, and I do give you much credit for being courageous and standing up and pointing out the hypocrisy, but as I recall, when David Letterman apologized for attacking 14-year-old Willow Palin, by the way, she was the one who accompanied her mother. He laughed when he apologized, and he has since then said ridiculously offensive things about people like Michelle Bachmann. I mean, it's just rampant, and they won't do anything about it. I think, Kirsten, you pointed out that on Bill Maher's show, Gloria Steinem was silent about the vicious misogynistic attacks against women, and yet Ann Coulter took him on head-to-head. She went to town, and yet the supposed leader of the great feminist movement said nothing.
Let me go through a broader context of liberal hate speech. And I'm going to pick out NBC News because they've been so sanctimonious in their criticism of conservatives. And you know what? I don't think Brian Williams or Tom Brokaw or Matt Lauer, I wonder why anybody in the media won't ask them if they're proud of their brand, considering this represents their news brand. Let's roll the tape.
To hell with the Republicans. They're anti-American. They're psycho talkers. They don't care. And Harry, you are you won't do the nuke option for the American people and shove the Republicans into the ditch. Sometimes I think they want Obama to get shot. I do. I really think that there are conservative broadcasters in this country who would love to see Obama taken out. They fear socialism. They fear Marxism. They fear that the United States of America won't be the United States of America anymore. You damn right Dick Cheney's heart's a political football. We ought to rip it out and kick it around and stuff it back in him. I'm glad he didn't tip over. He is the new poster child for health care in this country. He is an enemy of the country, in my opinion. Dick Cheney is. He is an enemy of the country. Lord, take him to the promised land, will you? See, I don't even wish the guy goes to hell. I just want to get him the hell out of here. Do you know what they're talking about? Like this right-wing slut, what's her name, Laura Ingraham? Yeah, she's a talk slut.
Kirsten, you think I'd have a job if I said these things?
No. And look, you asked, like, what does Tom Brokaw and these other people think? I'm sure they're mortified. I'm sure Tim Russert is turning over in his grave.
Why don't they speak out?
Because they're not at MSNBC. I mean, MSNBC is a separate entity.
They promote that channel as NBC News. They have their NBC star reporters on there all day, and I don't think that cop-out works. Just like saying Bill Maher's a comedian.
They speak out whenever conservatives do it. Whenever people on the other side do it, everybody speaks out. I mean, Obama himself, he spoke out over Rush Limbaugh, and we all say, well, Obama doesn't need to comment on everything. He doesn't need to comment when David Letterman is offensive to Sarah Palin and her daughters. Well, he really kind of does. When he sticks his neck out there on one, he really needs to be courageous enough to speak out on other instances. But, Sean, the left doesn't do it because they willingly go after conservative women, because conservative women represent a tremendous threat to the left, because for so long the left has taken women for granted, and so they just let the left go after conservative women in hopes that they're going to run them out of the arena by just this vicious name calling.
And it's conservative. It seems conservative women and conservative African Americans in particular are victimized this way. But I got to give Kirsten a lot of credit. I mean, look.
I give her credit, too.
Thank you.
Good job.
But I want to say it's not just conservative women, because Hillary Clinton was treated extremely viciously by these people, particularly Chris Matthews. And so it's really women whenever they feel like women are kind of getting out of their place.
No, the difference
whenever
is
you're not in your place.
People defended Hillary Clinton on both sides. They came out, they spoke out against that and said, this is ridiculous. There's no place for this in the media. But when it's against conservatives,
I think Kirsten's right. I hate to agree with Kirsten over you, Kate.
A lot of people did, Sean. I did. You did. A lot of people on the right
Listen,
did.
Hillary's campaign even liked me during their battle against then Senator Obama. But that's a story that I'll save for a book many years from now. Guys, good to see you.